Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and this is
Bueller. I'm here with Robbie.
some guy named Bueller here hanging out with us in Alabama.
That's right, hanging out in Alabama. You know, it's really nice here today. It's not.
But it's 78 degrees, dude. It's super cool.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's better than it's been.
It's a break, dude. Last week it was like 100 degrees all week long.
Yeah, well, I was sitting out in the middle of nowhere waiting for this day to happen. So here we go.
All right, we got a special guest set up by Dynamite today. She is a writer, an artist, a absolute fantastic comic book creator. So everybody join us in welcoming Sweeney Boo to the channel. What is up?
Hi.
Thank you for taking the time out of your probably very busy schedule to join us for a chat today.
It's my lunch break, so I'm happy to be here.
Nice. Instead of eating, you're joining me and Bueller on the show.
That's the way we're feeding on comics.
Yeah, exactly. Cruella De Vil. You've been working on that one, doing the covers, but doing the writing as well. And I believe, is it issue 5 that drops this upcoming Wednesday?
Yeah, it's the last one, actually.
The final issue. Were you a Disney fan leading up into this, or were you just like, who's Cruella De Vil?
I feel like, I don't know anyone who doesn't know who Cruella De Vil is. She's one of the like classic Disney villains. And you know, as a goth kid and stuff, I've always been more attracted to the villains side of the cartoons anyway. So yeah, I was happy to be able to just play with her a little bit.
Yeah, what was the initial idea that you had? Like, were you asked to do this? Did you pitch it? Like, when you were asked, what did you think about what to do with the story? Because it's kind of like a right after the movie, right? The 101 Dalmatians, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I rewatched the movie, obviously, but you really had to just forget everything that had been done since. So everything that was with the Emma Stone movie and the one from the 90s, you had to scrap any sort of influence. So Dynamite did reach out to me to ask to write it, which was my first time writing for another artist, because I've done it just for myself. So it was really interesting and a really cool challenge. But also, it's very much I don't know if you remember the first movie, Cruella has a car accident right at the end, and she's left stranded on the side of the road with her 2 henchmen, and that's it. We don't know anything else. So it was kind of nice to have this openness of what do we want to explore? Does she go to jail? Is she just getting exonerated, or is there any evidence? But we wanted really to also focus on the dogs and the animals, because it's always it's the 101 Dalmatians, you know, it's the side that we all love the most. So the idea at first was okay, the dogs are just they're not happy with her, and they're definitely gonna want her to be in trouble. So yeah, we started from that, and then wrapped up with all the Buckingham Palace and the Queen and jewels, and yeah, I think we made something pretty fun.
Heck yeah. What's it like working with Dynamite? My buddy Bueller here works for Dynamite a little bit. So I was just curious, what's it like? What's the process been like with them? Are you getting a lot of notes from them? Do you get does Disney in particular have notes? Do they say you can do this, you can't do that, stuff like that?
Yeah, so as a heads up already, I was given you know, sort of rules of what we can and can't do with Cruella. It wasn't that bad as I expected. I used to work in video games, so I'm used to working on IPs that have a lot of rules of stuff that you can't do. But no, it was definitely very surprised with Cruella. The only biggest thing was she can't smoke. So that's out of the window already. And outside of that, it was mostly well, you know, she can't really just hurt dogs or stuff like that, which is of course something that we don't want to do. We wanted to do the other way around anyway.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't dealt with Disney directly. It was always through the Dynamite, and they were also very chill in terms of notes and revisions, and no, it was pretty smooth, honestly.
Yeah, Dynamite's been doing some really cool stuff with the Disney properties. That Disney villain line, I really am a fan
Hmm.
of. Like Chuck Brown's Scar book was super cool. I
Beautiful.
love Sue Lee's Maleficent. Like I think that book was amazing. Like I just
Hmm.
love that one. And your book's super cool too. I really like it. Cruella's an interesting character to dive into, right? Like, by the way, me and Bueller are putting a pitch together for Jafar. So Nikki, if you're out there listening,
Ooh.
like, right, we got a good Jafar story.
Who's Jafar?
That's the story.
Is someone new?
That's it.
That's the story. Who's Jafar?
Okay, yeah.
That's the pitch. Who is he?
Origin story.
Who is he really?
Okay, yeah.
I remember being such a nut in the 90s when they were doing those direct-to-video sequels, like Return to Jafar. Like, I waited for that thing, right? And then did they do, like, they did some 101 Dalmatians sequels, I think, like direct-to-video stuff like that.
Oh
Did they?
yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
watch
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
those?
102 Dalmatians.
102. I remember they
Yeah.
did the live action with Glenn Close. I remember that
Yeah.
one. What about the
That
Emma
one, that
Stone
was
one?
still oh my God, I love it. It's I'm like a fashion nerd, so like this movie to me was like a love letter to Vivienne Westwood because every outfit, everything was like very, very inspired by her. So it's probably one of my favorite, honestly. Although the one from the 90s, the live action, it's like it's one from my childhood. It still holds up really well.
They did that one really well. One of my favorite things involving 101 Dalmatians is McDonald's did like toys for that movie, right? And they did 101 Dalmatian toys, right? Like they were basically 8 toys, but they would recolor them and redo them or something. But it just made this super fun. And there are people that like collect them all. And I'm thinking one day I'm going to embark on that journey. You're doing your like 45-day hike. I think I'm going to get 101 Dalmatian McDonald toys, man.
That probably suits you better.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, you can just sit there on Amazon clicking on the ones you want.
Yeah,
You don't have to get off the couch.
yeah. I
Okay,
like.
yeah.
What's your process? You said this was your first time writing for another artist. What's your process with that? Are you breaking it down visually in your head since you're so accustomed to that? Or are you allowing your artist to kind of just do that?
Well, I wanted to give Mariana like room to, do whatever she wanted. I know as like the way I work when I get a script, I love directions, but I love to be able to like break them. I don't like when things are a little too constricted or like when like where's the camera or whatnot. Um, I feel like, the artist's interpretation is like often like the best course of action. It's going to change a page entirely. And I had never experienced that before. I tried to give as much details and just explanations for Mariana as much as I could. And yeah, like being visual myself, I definitely had an idea in my head of what I what the page looked like, but getting Mariana's like version was just like completely different. And it just shows you how like people's brain works so like differently. We see and imagine things in a completely different way. So it taught me a lot. It was really, really cool.
Are you excited to write for other artists more in the future?
I would love to. I feel like, comics is about collaborating anyway, so it's just another way of collaborating with someone. As long as, there's like this like osmosis and like in terms of like a team, like everyone works well together. Um, Getting to write again would be, yeah, it would be super fun.
That's awesome. Bueller, you got any questions, man?
I do. I want to ask you because we initially talked when you first started doing this series, and now the series is coming to an end. Did it turn out the way you want? Was there any bumps in the road, or was it pretty much smooth sailing?
It was smooth sailing. I feel like I would have maybe, just like I missed this like I wrote all the scripts ahead, and not like I didn't like do it like gradually with Mariana. So I wonder what this like, getting to like work each issue together really together would have been. But like every book is different, every experience is different, and it was honestly really fun and just like it taught me a lot. So I'm excited to see how I can, implement that to like other collaborations in the future.
Heck yeah. You're on like a 10-second delay, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
I'm just waiting.
Nice.
It's time for you to follow up.
Oh,
you gotta follow up with that. Yeah.
Okay. To me there. Okay.
I'm teaching you how to do this.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got another quick question for you here. So Halloween is right around the corner. Are you doing some Grinch cosplay this year, or are you going a different direction?
I'm not doing anything this year. Last year, that Grinch costume, I wore it for like 3 hours and I could not breathe. I don't understand how people do that like for an entire day at a show, like doing cosplays. I'm traveling for I'm doing a con in Italy for Halloween this year, so I'm curious to see how Halloween is going to be over there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How Halloween is in other countries. I never even really thought about that. Because like
Well,
Christmas
listen,
is different in other countries, right? So
exactly. And I grew up in France where like Halloween isn't really a thing. So I don't know if it's the same in Italy or if they celebrate it. So yeah, I'm curious.
okay, anything else, Bueller?
That's it.
This is gonna be odd for you, man.
Yeah, I'm trying my best here.
I could not find my other set of headphones. Bueller's on a 10-second delay, everybody, just so you know. He's not naturally this slow. Bueller's actually a pretty cool dude. I like you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're a cool guy. Sweeney, you seem pretty cool too. So thank you for coming on. You did work on Harley Quinn, you right? Yeah. What was your idea about representing that character visually? Because your art was very dynamic on that book.
Well, thank you. It's like we, followed up with a theme, like a team that was already like doing like a very cartoony, very dynamic like theme and everything. So it's definitely something that we wanted to keep. But also when you get offered to do a character like Harley Quinn, I had no idea what I wanted to do at first because it's kind of scary. There's been like Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. I feel like every team were able to like create like a very unique version of Harley. So if I was thinking about it a little too much, it would have like gone to my head because it's kind of scary. So I feel like Teeny definitely established this like happy-go-lucky but kind of messy version of Harley that we played with, and she grew into a more like kind of animated, cartoony version. And like now she like I don't know, I gave her kind of long teeth. It wasn't planned. It kind of just happened, and I hope we make something a little different and a little us kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend is a huge fan of your work. She's into Catwoman in particular, but she loves Harley and Poison Ivy and all that stuff. And you did a Poison Ivy cover. I call it the butt cover, but it's a really cool cover, and I knew my girlfriend would love it, right? And I got it for her, and she's like she loved it. It was one of the first comic books I actually bought her, and now she's like diving deep into like Joelle Jones and Rom V and Teeny's run on Catwoman, right? So she's like diving in, and we'll get her on the Harley Quinn and all that kind of stuff eventually. But she's a big fan of your work, so I just wanted to say that she wanted me to tell you that. So she really likes your artwork
so much. It means a lot, and it's so fun when you really get into a character and like Catwoman, and there's like this like backlog of just like so much that you can read. I'm so sorry, my cat wants to get out and he's gonna keep screaming.
Oh, that's fine. Go for it.
Come on, boy. Come on. Off you go.
She left.
Come on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Come
The
on.
cat has to go out. We know it. We know what it's like.
He's a screamer.
Nice. We got a question from the chat, Adamantium23. How does Sweeney Boo go about designing a comic cover? Is she all digital or more traditional? What is her favorite medium for her art?
I vary with both, but because I wanted to just go a little faster with my work, I would say like 3 years ago, I switched to digital, and that was just what I'm used to. But I still go back and do traditional for like when I'm at cons and I do commissions and whatnot. And maybe in the future, I would like to like go back to do covers and like mix both. I feel like, a medium is a medium. You can play with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Bueller, what else you got?
How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good. Sweeney, how you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you.
Pretty good. She says thank you.
Okay, she said thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Sweeney, do you have any conventions you're going to be hitting anytime soon? Am I going to see you in Baltimore or New York?
I wasn't planning on going to New York, but I'll be there like a couple or a few days actually. So yeah, I might see you there.
She'll be at New York for a couple days.
Okay. So, back to you, Robbie.
All right. I'll be at Scarefest that weekend, so I'm not going to New York. I'm going to go meet Clive Barker and Joe Dante. I'm super, super pumped. What kind of movies do you like, Sweeney? Are you a horror fan?
I don't know if I'm a fan, but like I do like horror. I like psychological horror more than like any like gory stuff. But we have our little list of movies that we go through, like from like, you know, September, October. What about you? What kind of movies you're into?
Oh, I love movies. Film's one of my favorite things,
Okay.
and I love horror films. I love all of them, whether they're like super subtle and elevated, or if they're just super nasty and gnarly and transgressive and bloody. I love it all. I love everything. Italian horror films in particular, I'm a big fan of, like Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci. Big fans of their work. Big John Carpenter fan. And yeah, we like this week we just did Candyman and Hellraiser for our horror fest that we do every year on the channel. So it's been a little bit of a Clive Barker week, and then they just announced Clive Barker at the con I'm going to cover that con, and it might be one of his last con appearances, they say. So I was like super stoked to meet him. Super stoked. Clive's work is very important to me personally, so very pumped for that one. So Cruella De Vil, number 5, the final issue is out this Wednesday. If anybody out there hasn't checked it out, how would you sell this book to them?
It's Cruella with a very short fuse, because that's just the way she is, and we put her in a situation where she thinks she's in control, but she ends up just like not being in control at all. And it's basically the dogs of London just like going against her to try to ruin her life as much as they can.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody go check that out. Sweeney, I know you're on your lunch break, and you probably got a lot of stuff to do. Comic book covers, interior pages, writing, all that kind of stuff. But we appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us here today on Pop Culture Philosophers.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it again. Yeah. Sounds good. Without this chucklehead.
Yeah. Chucklehead.
Anyway, it was great meeting you, and we hope to see you again soon. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. That was fine.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Now you don't need to worry about the delay or anything like that.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah. You just want to shoot the shit for a minute?
Yeah.
All right. You take over. I got to go pee.
Is that what you do when you leave all the time?
Yeah.
That's not what he does when he leaves all the time, just so everyone knows. He might at the beginning, but after he's doing something else. What that is, I don't know. I don't have any idea. How's everyone doing? Like he was saying, I was on like a delay when we were trying to do that video, so it was kind of awkward for me to hear. I could hear what she said, but it was like 10 seconds later. So as far as jumping on the cues when to jump in, I was kind of struggling there. But let me just say hello to some of the people in the chat right now. Adamantium23, hello. Canadian Survivalist, hello. Taki, hello. Of course, our buddy Big John right there, the castle himself. But yeah, I'm here in Robbie's home state, hanging out with Robbie at his place. And he's got a couple animals here and stuff like that. They're pretty nice. And
yeah, I do.
Of course, he's got, all his dollies all over the place and his little funny books and stuff.
Did you say dollies?
Yeah, your dolly collection. He's got a huge dolly collection. Some are in the package.
This is the new pizza tosser.
Yeah.
From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I just opened up and got.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, right?
Is that you put your dollies in there?
Yeah, I see it shoots pizzas out.
Yeah, to your dollies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to call them that, we call them action figures. But
No. Let's be honest. We got nothing but a bunch of dollies.
I'm in North Alabama. We're in Huntsville, Alabama. This is the second time you've been in my fair city. Right?
Yeah, and literally only came here to see you. I wasn't both times. It was not like, oh, let's go to Huntsville and hang out in Huntsville.
Yeah.
No, it was literally like, where's Robbie?
Do you do any of the touristy stuff when you're here? Like, have you been to the Space Center or anything like that?
You know, I actually saw it yesterday, and I like parked like right across the street from it at the Cabela's and stuff. And I was looking at it online yesterday. I might go over there and just kind of walk around. I don't know if I'm not too interested in going to the museum, but it looks like
it's really good.
Really?
Dude,
I'm going to the Space and Science one in DC, which is like the national one.
Yeah.
So that one, it's free.
Well, dude, this Space Center, I mean, the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center is a big deal. I don't know if you remember, but back in Double Dare, that you would get sent to Space Camp. Do you remember the movie Space Camp?
Yeah.
It was filmed there.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Some of it was filmed there.
So not all of it.
Not all of it. Some of it was filmed in space. I guess.
I don't think that's true.
The guy who owns the shop I run, was in that movie. He's in the movie. Yeah, he's like an extra.
The guy that went,
he walks by the camera. He's got like a mullet. He's rocking that mullet or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. Leah Thompson, I think, is in that movie, and she was here at our con a couple years ago, and that was like a big deal. It was like a return to whatever. Billy D. Williams filmed a movie here called Constellation. Mm-hmm. It's a space city.
All right, you know what?
It's a tech-driven city. It's space. We used to be textile way before I was born, probably around your era.
Well, no, I'll probably go by there if I choose to.
Yeah, no, it's actually really cool.
Okay,
I
believe you.
I've been many times, and you remember that on Double Dare where they'd be like, and the winner gets to go to space camp and all that stuff.
Oh, Double Dare, that little
the Nickelodeon show. Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking. I thought you were talking about something else.
No.
Double Dare.
Y'all have any questions for Bueller? Because he's starting to annoy me now.
What?
No, what do you think about the city though? You haven't seen too much of it.
No, I haven't. But last time I was here, I went to that thing by your store. For one, and I've said this many times, the store that Robbie is in charge of, The Deep, is one of the best comic shops I've ever been to.
Thank you.
And it's coming from a guy who's been to almost all of them, to be honest. So, I mean, it's literally is one of the best. And I tell this to people all the time, they have shopping carts at the door. It's the only goddamn comic shop I've ever been that has shopping carts at the door. So I mean, I gotta give the guy credit right there.
Well, thank you.
But there's that building that's behind your shop, like it's an old mill or railroad.
Yeah,
place.
Low mill.
Yeah, I went there last time.
Yeah, they get like an art center and a bunch of like people.
I really enjoyed that. I don't know if it's still going on.
Yeah, it's still there. They do stuff all the time. There's like shows. They'll do movies.
Yeah.
They'll do like this thing they call concerts on the dock. They have a bunch of restaurants in there.
Yeah.
There's a record store there. And like my buddy Kevin Stokes, you've met Kevin. Mm-hmm. He's got a studio up there that he works out of. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, that's why I went and saw last because he took me there last time.
Oh, cool.
And stuff. And we went around and hung out and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And I looked over there yesterday. I was like, oh, it looks like
Oh no, they still do it. And every weekend there's something. And then I remember last time we took you to Bandito Burrito.
Yeah.
Which is one of our like punk rock Tex-Mex places that's been here for a long time. Yeah. And right across the street from that is Campus 805. That used to be my middle school. And now it's a bunch of bars and like there's an arcade in there. And we're taking you there tonight for karaoke.
Oh, that's where we're going?
Yeah, okay, man.
Yeah, we're doing karaoke tonight. I'm going to drop some Michael Bublé and maybe some Hootie on you.
Oh, dude, Hootie would kill right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Only want to be with you.
Yeah. Well, I don't just want to be with you. But
which one? What have you been practicing? You know my karaoke station.
Yeah,
what are yours?
Let's see.
Because you did Bob Dylan when you were here last time.
Yeah, I got thrown into that one.
Took you out to the station.
That was not the one I wanted to do. By the way, they let me know right before I took the stage. We don't have that one. I was going to do Everybody Gets Stoned, and that was going to be dedicated to you.
Why me? Yeah. Speaking of,
no, it's there's a couple songs like "You Don't Know Me" by Michael Bublé. I like that one quite a bit. Mrs. Jones.
Mrs. Jones? Oh, I thought you were talking about Counting Crows. Mr. Jones.
No, not Mr. Jones.
So there's a Mr. Jones and a Mrs. Jones.
Yeah, Mrs. Jones. Yeah, Mrs. Jones.
Somebody should do a mashup.
Yeah, and then a couple of Hootie songs I know and stuff like that because I sing a lot when I'm driving. Might as well, right? So
yeah. Do you like when you're on the open road? Are you like singing?
Oh
just tearing ass.
Oh, tearing ass. Anyway, no, I do. Like whenever I'm,
We should have kept Sweeney in for this part.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever I'm on the road or whenever I'm like out on my paddleboard, I'll take my phone with me and have a Bluetooth speaker and stuff and just kind of music and stuff and listen to that. And I mean, or when I'm hiking for sure, I got my earbuds in and stuff like that.
What music do you listen to when you hike?
A lot of jazz.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
you're into jazz.
Yeah, jazz and stuff. I mean, it just depends on the mood. I mean, sometimes I got.
Are you really into jazz? Or you're just saying that to be cool?
No, I mean,
because you're like here and you're like, whoa, Robbie's so cool. Let me fucking be pretentious and I like jazz. Like nuts.
That's a real dick thing to say. You know what? What the hell you got? Why you gotta do me like that, man?
I'm just messing with you, man. It's all
no, but like, you can look at my CDs because yes, I'm a CD guy.
Well, yeah, I heard you can see these nuts.
Well,
anyway,
what the hell is happening here? CDs nuts?
That's yeah, right. It's a these nuts.
Yeah, I get it.
Adamantium wants to know if you get your comics from me, and I'm like, what comics? You don't read comics anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't read comics. I did. The last series I read was Avengers Twilight.
That's great,
and I really liked it. I got the first 5 issues, got those, and then I think it was a 5 or 6 issue series.
Yeah.
And then I missed the 6th issue for 2 months, and I finally picked up the 6th issue. And by then I was like, oh, I forgot what I read.
Oh man, that's a good book. That's
I liked it. So I took it with me when I took the train ride to C2E2.
Yeah.
And to Chicago, so I just bought some books and read them.
How was that train ride? I remember you being super pumped for that. This is famous. It's a
48-hour train ride through all the way from Portland, Oregon, goes through Seattle, then it goes all the way over to Chicago, and it's called the Empire Builder line, and it's a train ride I've been wanting to do for a while. I just stayed in the regular coach seats. They're actually very comfortable. There's plenty of space. You don't need to spend thousands.
Was there a murder?
No, on the train. There was no murder. The nice thing is
this was the porn train ride, right?
No, there's no
the adult themed one.
But anyway, but not a lot of people use a train. It's not like going on a plane, man. You got plenty of room. You're not, I look on our train car, there's maybe, there's 50 seats and maybe 14 of them were full.
Wow.
So, I mean, you got plenty of space. So don't waste your money on a big cabin or whatever, because it's way more money. But I really enjoyed it because I went through Glacier National Forest.
Oh, cool.
And I really wanted to see that and stuff. And you just kind of relax. And it's kind of nice being able to just sit back and relax and enjoy the ride as opposed to driving all the time and and stuff. So I liked it. Then I got to Chicago and I loved Chicago and had a good time at C2E2, but really a great time in the city and just exploring the city it was about. And then on the way back, because I took the train ride back, it was the same thing. Another 2, and I was like, oh, I'm not really looking forward to another 2 days on the train. But I was so exhausted from C2E2 in Chicago, that I pretty much slept the whole time.
Oh wow!
And it went by really fast. And so it was great. I'm looking forward to doing some more train travel. There's 6 routes that go across the country that I would like to do. Goes all the way through California, down through Texas and stuff like that. I've
never been on a train. That seems super cool to me. But I've watched so many horror movies. Some of them take place on trains. Like Terror Train is one I really like. Horror Express.
There's a lot of.
Do they do that? But they got to do themed murder. They do those murder dinner parties.
Yeah.
They got to do fake murder train rides and shit like that. I'm sure.
Yeah, but they're not 2 days long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have special ones. It's like a dinner train, and they go and they have a thing or what. That's not what this is.
Yeah, I get that.
They do have Amish people on there, if that counts.
Are they allowed to take trains?
You know what? Yes, they are.
I guess so. Yeah.
If they're not, somebody didn't tell these ones.
Yeah. Okay. We got Bullseye Bob in here. Look at that.
Look at that. That's my buddy right there. Just talking about him the other day. Is Robbie sitting on the booster seat? No, he is actually.
This isn't a booster seat.
It's one of those.
I could go down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I am on a booster seat.
There you go.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, Justin Richards is here. What's up, Justin?
How you doing, Justin?
Long time no hear, man. You never call anymore, man. What's up? What's going on, man? I know. I thought everybody just ditches me, man.
Here's the things, and
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I look at it this way, and over the years we've been doing this for quite a long time, and during different time periods, you connect with someone a little bit more often than you do going forward, stuff like that. it's all just moments.
It's an ebb and flow, man.
Yeah, it's all just moments. So it's like maybe I connected with someone a few years ago, we chatted or whatnot, and then things kind of fade off. But it's that moment that you guys kind of had together that you remember. And then new people come in and people go out. So it's all these really special moments. So even though maybe I haven't talked to someone in a few years, it doesn't mean that that moment isn't special anymore. It was. And that's kind of what I look at when I see that like someone comes into a chat that I haven't heard from a long time or whatever.
Yeah, I always love that.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I remember we talked or whatever, and it was really cool, and how you've been doing. So it's, you just kind of have to remember the moments because not everyone has time to kind of just do this, especially during COVID when everyone was home and just sitting there and there was a lot of time available to just chat and do all that stuff. And then life starts back up and you go your different ways, but it's all different moments that are great.
Yeah, I did get him. I got him good with that one. Train to Busan. That's a great movie. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, man, it's so good, man. The train was going. And
You've not seen that movie?
No, then they had some problems on the train.
It's a zombie movie from Korea.
Yeah, and then like that was like the really big problem. And they're like, oh, man, we're on this train and zombies are on the train.
Dude, you should watch it. I have it, obviously.
It was great.
I have a lot of movies.
Yeah, it was like, if I had to give it a score.
Yeah. How many pollywogs would you give
I'd give it 7 pollywogs.
But these go to 5. Anyway.
Okay.
We both work for Dynamite a little bit. They're friends of us.
Yeah.
They're supporters, I should say, right? They're supporters.
Yeah.
And
they give us money.
They give us money, and they don't give us money to like talk positively about their books or anything. They don't give us money to shill. Like for me, like I do the show on the EXP and we do these interviews, right?
Yeah.
You do the claim show.
Yeah.
On Thursday. You just had one last night, right? Tell everybody about that. Some people here may not be familiar with that.
Well, it's we've been doing it now for over 2 years. And every Thursday there's a block that they have on my channel for 2 hours that they come on. And Rex and Alex and Amy was with us in the past, and sometimes she still joins. She actually joined last night a little bit.
Nice.
And basically, and I think a lot of people get a little confused. Oh, it's Dynamite, so it's just going to be Dynamite stuff. It's not. It's not. And I think a lot of people get confused on that.
Yeah.
Yes, there is Dynamite books, of course. The new books come out, but that's a very small portion of what they bring to the table. They have commissioned cover art, that they have done. They have incentive books. That's one thing that we sell quite a bit of. They'll bring the incentives from this week, from Marvel or DC or Image or whatever, and then Alex prices them pretty aggressively to sell, and we sell quite a few of those. So those are all on there. And then like yesterday, we had a bunch of back issues, like the first appearance of Hellboy, or first appearance of. How
much y'all sell the first appearance of Hellboy for?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Hal.
I don't have that. I want that.
Oh, maybe it wasn't.
You know why I want that?
Maybe it wasn't Hellboy.
Because I'm a Hellboy. Okay, well, regardless, I'm a huge Hellboy fan.
John knows. John Spilios. I think he might have bought a couple.
He's probably already gone.
Okay.
He just comes in, says what's up.
No,
and then
he's
leaves.
there. No, he's there. But I don't know. I didn't.
No, so I'm a huge Hellboy fan. I had to do the Hellboy song.
Yeah, I remember. I've heard you.
Hey,
Hellboy.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, there's a Hellboy up there.
People give you money.
I don't want the first appearance of Hellboy just because I want the first appearance of Hellboy, one of my favorite characters. I want the first appearance of Hellboy so I can complete my Next Men run. Because it's John Byrne's Next Men, and there you can find them in dollar bins across the country. But this one issue happens to have the first appearance of Hellboy.
Well, don't you have an option to get that because you work at one of the best.
I don't like spending more than $20 on a comic.
I hear you. I will go less than that. I don't like spending more than $6 on a comic book. I hear you. But no, the claim show is great, and we do it for a couple hours. We have a lot of fun. I kind of, I'll be honest. When we first started doing it, it was a little dull, and I kind of
you figured out a way to spice it up.
Yeah, I kind of reached into my old BS days and stuff, to kind of turn the volume up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we actually kind of have a little bit of a fun doing it and everything, and it's a good time. And a lot of people have been there. They've sold a lot of books. I do get a commission from all the books that are sold on there, which helps me on my travels and everything. So that's kind of nice, so whatever is purchased on that show, I do get a percentage of whatever is purchased. And they're pretty good. I've out of the 2 years that we've been doing this and all the books that they've shipped, because I take it very seriously as far as my channel, my audience and stuff like that. And that's what that's who I owe it to. It's like, so I told Dynamite right away. It's like, you guys can't screw up. You guys make sure you get the shipping right, get all this right. If it's not a good price, I'm going to tell you it's not a good price. And there's been a couple times on there, I'm like, that's not probably a good price. Maybe that's not a book to sell on the channel, because my audience comes first. And for all the 2 years that we've been doing this, pretty much 99.9%, no problems at all. Every now and then, sure, something happens, books get stolen off a porch or whatever it is, but they make it right. They've always made everything right if there ever was a problem. And that means a lot to me, because I don't want to just put my name out there and like have someone on there, oh yeah, and it's like, oh man, this is a headache.
Yeah.
But they do great. They do a really good job, and we like I said, every Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern time for a couple hours, come on there and just kind of hang out. And they sell some books.
We on the EXP, I do a show like that with them Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. We do it for 2 hours. Your show's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned it's more than just Dynamite books, right?
Yeah.
Because there's Dynamite, which is a comic book publisher.
Sure.
But then there's Dynamic Forces,
which
has been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Nikki on QVC and shit back in the day, dude.
I
remember when you used to wear those suits and those glasses, man.
Jesus.
Those are fun times. I actually have he sent me a signed card of Nikki the Roach from Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti had that book.
Oh yeah.
And he's a character in it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a picture of like 90s Nick, and he signed it for me. I love it. I love it.
He's a good dude. Nick's,
he is. He really is.
I'll be honest. Me and Dynamite and Nick, we've done some stuff in the past, and then once my contract ran out with Whatnot a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, I need to, get another bigger sponsor on board. Nick stepped right up. Nick would call me like a couple of days later. It's like, hey, we want to fill that spot. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, no problem. And they did. They filled that spot. They've been on board now for almost a couple of years, maybe not 2 years, maybe about a year and a half right now. But it's been great. I like the people there. It's funny because we talk about Nick quite a bit, and Nick is a workaholic.
Oh yeah.
we both will get emails from Nick at like 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like, that's our boy Nick right there. So, and the nice thing is, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about Whatnot, but my communication with them was very lacking, and that was kind of a rough thing. And apparently that was the case with a lot of people. It's the opposite with Dynamite. I know I can pick up the phone right now and call Nick, and 9 times out of 10 he's like, hey, what's up, man? And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing to know that the communication is there, and that goes a long way. And Dynamite has been on board, like I said, for almost 2 years. Hopefully they're on board for the remainder of my comic book YouTube journey into next.
You made that announcement, right?
Yeah.
You're retiring.
Yeah, I am retiring.
You got your Lifetime Achievement Award.
I do.
But
it's not as tall as your award.
No, my awards are super tall.
Yeah.
Do you have as many as I have?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's dope.
No,
you deserve all the accolades, but you actually, I don't know if you've told people this, but you were like, I'm all right, I'm done. Don't nominate me for anything else. Like you're done.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's not public knowledge, but
well, it is now.
Yeah. So, but
breaking news.
Yeah, I've kind of said to them, it's like, once you get that Lifetime Achievement Award, you're good.
Yeah.
Don't. And like last year, I was nominated for a category, and I was like, I don't want that nomination. Go ahead and just omit me from the vote. That way, it doesn't affect the other people that were in there.
Yeah, I think we won that because so thank you.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I think that was best collaboration.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, I think it was. And the monthly comic book review did, which is kind of where we met, was in the initial days of what turned into the show that I do now. Everybody else gave up on it, but I couldn't. Yeah. Now it's an award-winning show.
Yeah.
So,
but we had like Bullseye Bob in here.
Yep.
Bullseye Bob was.
We were talking about this yesterday, man. The days with me, you, Dylan, and Bob, man.
Yeah. And
dude,
the kid,
Will the Beast.
Yeah, Will the Beast. There you go. But no, we always had a blast, man. It was always a lot of fun, and to see that you're still doing that to this day, it's really cool to see that.
It's a legacy, dude. You've started so many legacies. I still do your first and final 5 on Rockin Robbie Live, man.
You're welcome.
I know. Thank you for you. Like, it was actually an honor. Like, I know it. Like, y'all probably thought it was a bit or whatever, but no. Like, Bueller's like, take it, man.
Yeah.
Have the first 5 and the final 5, and I've transformed it, dude.
Yeah.
We go through comic cards. We go through VHSs. We do all kinds of fun stuff.
You know, I've said this before, but 7 years of doing this, I've enjoyed pretty much every minute, and I don't take anything for granted. And it's nice to know that if you want to call it leaving your mark, it's nice to know that I kind of left my mark.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that is, you know, I know that it's positive, and it means a lot to me to be able to say, you know what, I had my time, I did my thing, it made a difference in this area. And you know what, in life, you want to leave a mark. You want to at least try to be somewhat remembered and not forgotten. And I feel as though, hey, some of the things I've done, and some of the things people looked at me as like, what do you mean you're going to get in a bus and drive across the country? What the hell are you thinking? And, you know,
I give them 6 months.
Yeah, I give them 6 months. And here, just so you guys know, today,
3 years.
3 years. I bought my bus 3 years ago today. It was September 6th. That's today.
Yeah, today's the 6th.
3 years.
It's my stepdad's birthday. I need to.
Yeah, make a call. But you know, it's just like, you know, all these little moments that we talked about moments a second ago, but all these moments I've been, and not all the moments. And a lot of people think, oh, it's all YouTube. It's not all on YouTube. Yeah. I have so many moments, like just sitting in a gas station, you know, putting gas in my bus, and obviously it draws attention. And then having a conversation with someone who's also getting gas, going, oh, what's this about? Those moments happen to me all the time, you know, on almost a daily basis. Campsites, people will come up to me in campsites and start talking to me about this.
Yeah.
And then I get an opportunity to talk about comics and all this stuff, you know. And it's those moments that mean a lot to me, because this might be people that I used to like comics. That's really cool. I didn't even know they're still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so I have all these little moments that aren't like advertised on YouTube or nothing like that I get to experience. I've been doing that for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So, I mean, I look at, I get opportunity after opportunity to kind of leave a mark and kind of like share what I'm passionate about. And you said, you know, I am retiring. My passions are kind of going in a different direction.
Yeah.
They have been for a little while. And it's like, you know what, if you're not following what you're passionate about, you're wasting time.
Right.
And so my passions, even, I still love comics. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh, I can't stand them. It's just like something else is calling me, and I want to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you are one of my best friends, right? I mean, it goes from just working together on these shows on YouTube, you know, because, you know, back then, like the comic book community was like, I mean, it's grown.
Yeah.
It keeps growing. There's more channels. There's more people involved. People go in, they go out. The comic book community and the industry always changes and shifts. But me and you, man, like, you are a friend, right? And you are more than a friend. You are an inspiration to me, homie. Like, you gave me words of wisdom at MegaCon this year. When I came back, I'm 30 pounds down.
He's looking good.
I'm trying to like get things tighter in my life. I'm trying to spend time with the people I love and follow my passion, dude.
Yeah.
And it's always been what I've been about, but it's hard sometimes to find people that are like that as well.
Yeah.
And me and you are like brothers.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I love you.
It's really
and
nice.
I'm sorry I keep introducing you to everybody here.
Yeah,
my YouTube buddy.
I'm like, come on, man. But you know what? Of course, we're here to kiss each other's ass. So
yeah, of course.
We're
That's
gonna,
what we're here.
We're going to do it some more. But I also want to say something real quick, because we initially met on Jem Mint's channel. We were doing the monthly comic book review, and that's kind of where we
love Jem.
Yeah, where we hit it off, and there was an instant connection between us. And I've said this a few times, but Robbie at that time, I didn't know Robbie that well, but I knew his shows, but I instantly kind of liked him, so I spent more time with his YouTube channel, his reviews and stuff like that, and really liked it. And then we went on to do a bunch of stuff together as time went on. But at that moment, I said to myself, you know what? And we could cuss on here, right?
No, fuck
okay.
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. I was like, I fucking can't stand this investment shit about comics. I fucking hate the money value aspect of comics. I don't want to talk about that stuff anymore. And then I see Robbie doing pure love of books, you know. I love reading books. I enjoy books. I don't care what the hell they're worth, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like, that seems a lot more better.
Yeah.
A lot more my wheelhouse. I've made other videos about here's the keys or here's things, but they're not really investment videos. They're not like, I'm not telling you to go buy these books or invest your money in them. I'm like, hey, you know, like some of the videos I've done, like 50 comics worth $100. It's not telling you to go buy them. It's just literally taking the information, sorting it out, putting it together in a fun way, and you can watch it. You know,
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you to go buy these books. It's like, hey, this X-Men number 90 is worth $100. If you have it, awesome. That's it. That's all that video is.
Yeah.
But before that, there was all these investment videos and stuff like that.
Still are, right?
And it still are. And I hate that shit. I hate it. I really do. It's not my thing. I don't care how much a book is worth, you know, as far as a monetary value. And I really try to get away from that. And I did right away. And you were a big inspiration. Like, it doesn't always have to be about money and stuff like that. I don't care. And I remember coming over here the first time and I gave you shit because I was like, he's got like a bag, he's got a box of Fantastic Four in his run, and like most of them are not in bags and boards. They're just sitting there loose. I'm like, why don't you put these in bags and boards? And he's like, well, you know, he just kind of danced around the subject, to be honest. And then like now I don't use bags and boards. I mean, I've had comic book supplier sponsors and stuff like that. I don't even use bags of boards. I get books now that come in bags of boards. I take them out and throw away the bags of boards. It's like I could care less. And It's like, God, it's like everyone puts so much emphasis on the value and all this stuff. And it's just, you know what? Just enjoy it, you know. And I'm not telling you not to invest in stuff. I mean, if you're going to invest in stuff, invest in something you like.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of fun. And I tell people all the time, because I get emails, hey, I just watched your video. Can you tell me if these are worth? And I'm like, no. I say, go. I always recommend to go to someone else's. I go, I'm not the guy to ask.
Yeah.
Go ask Economics and Comics, you know, or go ask Swaggle-Hoss or whatever it is. Those guys will be able to help you quite a bit more than it's not what I do. And I think a lot of that gets missed. And I think right now in YouTube, right in our area where we're just talking about enjoyment of books, and Robbie really has that area, you know, locked down right now with his stuff. But you got that, and then you got the investment stuff and all that things, and then you got the drama people.
Yeah,
that are just popping out of the woodwork.
We talked a lot about that yesterday.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the hell is happening, you know? And you go through ebbs and flows, like you said earlier, and eventually it'll probably die off, you know. And I'm hoping that it does, and then we kind of get back to the pure enjoyment of books and stuff. But until then, Robbie's kind of got you covered when it comes to that enjoyment of the books and stuff. But anyway, I'm just rambling.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I appreciate all the kind words. I just want you to. How long did it take me to do my hair today?
Well, I will say this: when I first got to his place, he couldn't even answer the door. I
was taking a shit, dude. I'm sorry. No, I had my phone with me.
I mean, it took him like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It didn't take him that. I mean, it took him longer than it takes me, but not too long at all. So,
yeah, there you go. It's good in person, right?
You look good. You're glowing. You have that shine to you. That's the thing. It's not just the lights, because I mean, we got the lights, and sure they're aimed towards his face. So I'm like, maybe it's just the shininess of the lights.
Yeah.
But then I see him in person, and he's like a gloss all over him. It's just like
I'm like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I can't let somebody grab onto me, man.
Like I'm gonna try and slap you, like get the baby oil off, you know. Just look at that. You can see it right there, just the shine.
Yeah, there's the shine, man. There is.
Do I have? I don't have the shine.
You have a little bit of it.
Well, I should have the shine, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I can show you what I use.
I don't want to know.
My girlfriend put my routine together for me. You met her yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, she's great. I told her
she was giving me a lot of shit, and Bueller's like, I like you.
Yeah. No, she's very nice. Very nice.
Cool.
So
awesome.
I'm glad to see Robbie has found people in his life that are good people, and he surrounds himself by that. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. You gotta get rid of the. You know, we were talking about that yesterday. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of the stuff.
Just want to be like, not gonna.
Yeah, that was straight up what happened. I was in here setting up the show, and I was like, I'll take my phone because I figured if anything, you'll call me.
No, I just knock on the door.
And I just be like, I'm taking a shit right now. Give me a minute. I look out my window. I just see you walking across the parking lot. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I knew the apartment was yours. I've been here before.
Yeah, you have. We did a stream here, right? Yeah, we did a stream here, and we popped in on Dylan's show randomly.
Yeah.
One time, I remember. It was fun. We've seen each other in person like 4 or 5 times. Like four. I think this is the 4th time.
Yeah.
2 times at MegaCon.
Yeah.
1 time here, now twice.
Yeah. And first time was here at your place, then 2 MegaCons, which is always a blast.
Yeah, MegaCon. Y'all need to go to MegaCon. You don't even need tickets to the con. Just make sure you're in Orlando that weekend.
Yeah.
And be at Twin Peaks.
You and your Twin Peaks.
Whatever. You're the one taking photos with all the fucking servers there.
I don't remember that.
Whatever. We did the slingshot this last year, and we got Damien on the slingshot. It was so cool meeting Damien, man. He's one of my favorites.
I'm pretty sure he's going again.
Dope. So, yeah.
But I think he was talking. I talked to him the other day, and he said that he's got to make his plans to do it. So having him go to MegaCon again is a lot of fun. And John Spilios, and then all the other guys and stuff, from the area, like Steve Whiting and Hialeah and Jeff
oh
and
my God, the Domino's night this year. That was my favorite. That was my favorite moment of the whole con.
Here's the thing, okay, and this is honestly a true story. So the first year that when you're there, okay, and so you have your little entourage. You have your little handler entourage.
Yeah, I do.
You kind of go around with, okay, and then there's just me. I'm a lone gunman.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I am. But I know everybody. Okay. Yeah. And then there's the Florida group.
Yeah.
That are from Florida that I know that I'm really good friends with that I've spent MegaCon with the years prior. And stuff, like Steve Whiting, the guys I just named. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how do I get these 2 groups together? Okay, and that was the first year because you guys want to go do one thing, the other guys want to go do the other thing.
Yeah, my entourage, what we want to do is go out and drink as much as possible and just tear ass through the fucking strip.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, I feel bad because I don't want to say no to both or one or whatever. So I'm like really torn on what to do and how to divide my time, between you guys because I want to spend time with you both. And I think I did get you guys like at a dinner together like the first time. Maybe it was
they came to Twin Peaks.
Okay, so we did that like one time and the first time, and then they kind of intermingled, and that was good. The second,
I love Raul, by the way. Like I've always loved that.
Oh yeah,
he's
one of my favorites.
Great man.
The second year, last year,
I
was like, I got to make this happen. I got to get these guys together. With especially with Robbie's growing entourage. And so I'm like really pitching this Domino's thing that we play all the time at the hotel that we stay at.
Yeah.
And we tried to get everyone to stay at the same hotel. Robbie's entourage didn't want to do that. But
sorry, they hit a little harsh. Well, I'm glad that we stayed where we did because we wound up having dinner with Jay Lee.
Oh, yeah.
So that was nice.
More name dropping. But anyway, so I was able to finally we went out, we all had a dinner together and stuff like that, and I was able to get these groups together. At the hotel and play dominoes. And like Robbie said, it was his favorite thing about it.
Oh yeah.
So now I know going forward, I don't have to put in the effort to get them together. They will automatically come together.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, but it was when I sat there, and I have a picture on my phone. I don't know if I've showed it, but I took a picture of all you guys all in the group together out in that patio playing. I kind of stood on a table and kind of took it. And it's one of my favorite pictures. It has all you guys that I'm all friends with. 2 of these groups coming together, enjoying each other's company. I knew you guys would. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's one of those moments. That's what
I had so much fun. I never played dominoes before. I think it was Spilio's first time playing too.
Yeah.
And we wound up partnering up and we dominated for a moment. And all of a sudden I'm like really good at dominoes. Yeah. But no, it was just luck. It was just luck. No, that was so fun.
Raul was just messing with you.
We're at that, whatever. We're fucking at the there's that little, it's like a little convenience store right down there.
Yeah.
And like we're buying like way expensive beer and like fucking I remember Raul being like, I got you with this Modelo, and I was like, hey, let's fucking do. I had so much fun.
Oh, it was a blast.
It was a blast, and that's the cool thing is we can do both. We can go out, we can have a few drinks, and then but as I'm getting older, I do kind of prefer staying in sometimes
Sure.
and just chilling with like the
Yeah.
homies or the family and shit like that, and just drinking and having some fun times, dude. I didn't realize how intense Domino's can get.
Oh, it was
man.
great.
I loved
was
it,
great.
dude. I had so much fun. I'm looking forward to MegaCon this year. So
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And
my
like I said,
entourage.
just getting that's what it is. Just getting everyone together and seeing that, that's very special moments for me that I get to be involved in. And
Yeah.
stuff, and then like every year a few other people show up or a few people drop off or whatever and that can't make it that year. So I'm curious to see what we get this year.
Yep.
Which is I think the first couple weeks of February.
I know they made it so early.
Yeah,
this
which is
last
great.
year.
And from what I understand, most of us are all staying at the same hotel again, and which is awesome. It's a nice hotel. It's really convenient to where that convention is, and it's just always a fun. I don't care about the con, and I say this.
I agree.
I don't really,
I mean, the con's cool. They have a lot of cool people. I
Yeah.
got to meet Arta Adams.
Yeah.
I had a great thing with Mark Silvestri, even though you try to fuck around with that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, seeing Josh there getting called out, even though this dude's got Josh Williams in his fucking phone, but like we were walking by and he's not calling out for Bueller. He's like, Robbie, and this is the guy writing G.I. Joe right now, man. Look at what happened to that kid.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. I remember you being jealous of me.
Of what? Of Joshua Williams?
Yeah.
Williamson?
Yeah, Williamson.
Yeah. You want me to call him just to make you feel better?
Yeah. Just message and be like, hey, Robbie,
You're
I'm
like-
trying to reach
You're
out.
like, I told you I had to cancel. We were supposed to go have coffee, and I
Mhm.
go, I had to cancel. I couldn't make it. He goes, you didn't cancel it, Joshua.
Motherfucker sent me a screenshot.
Yeah, I had to send him a screenshot so he believed me.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
We were just talking about him with me and Sal yesterday because him and Sal do a show together on Comic Pop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not a regular show, but they do it quite often. They're really good friends. And it says like, yeah, so he talked about Joshua a couple times. I go, yeah, I know Joshua. We know each other. We always see each other all across the country, and we never seen each other where we're both from. And stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, I was on a retailer call that he was part of last week for the G.I. Joe launch.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, y'all trust me.
He's writing G.I. Joe?
He's writing G.I. Joe. He did Duke and Cobra Commander.
Yeah. That's
but
right.
he's writing the G.I. Joe book. That's about to drop in November.
The Hama taking over for Hama?
No. This is part of the Energon universe.
Okay.
So all of his Duke and Cobra Commander
Sure.
and the Dan Waters on Destro and Kelly Thompson on Scarlet, it's all leading into the first proper Energon universe G.I. Joe book.
Okay.
And it drops in November, and it's badass. Trust me.
Is this called G.I. Joe?
It's called G.I. Joe.
Okay.
The Hama one is Real American Hero.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to do that.
Nice.
Even though he just kind of blasted them, saying that he doesn't get a cut of the reprints because they're doing those compendiums now.
Yeah.
Because I never read that G.I. Joe stuff back in the day. Did you? Was that something that you were
The
into
Marvel
in the
stuff?
80s? Yeah, the Marvel
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, a lot of people like my age or slightly above my age. That's like a key comic in their comic journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for me, I just never. I was more into Transformers, but I didn't actually. And I like G.I. Joe. It was mostly toy based and cartoon based.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were comics when I was growing up. To me, like comics were Superman, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men.
Yeah.
That was what I read at a very early age.
Yeah. No, G.I. Joe is one of the ones I really enjoyed as far as both the TV show, books, and comics. Was like it was a triple threat right there, to be honest. So
Do you remember this little dude from the 80s?
That was the Secret Wars.
Yeah.
You don't have the clip-on.
I don't. I want them. Do you? Do you have them? If you find them across your journeys, send them my way, please.
Well, anyone who knows what this is, just if you have a 3D printer, just print them and send it to us. They're literally just
That's what we do nowadays.
snap-on
right?
plastic things.
I got a lot of dollies, man. So
Yeah, that's a nice dolly.
yeah. Thank you. I got more back there. There's a Magneto next to that Punisher van.
I gave you dollies.
You did?
Didn't
Yeah.
I send you a
box of dollies, yeah.
Echo people or
Echo people.
wasn't it
Exo Squad.
Exo
You
Squad?
sent me an Exo Squad figure, dude. It was dope, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Because I had a box of those
Uh-huh.
and I threw them away.
Yep.
And you're
I
like,
got one of
oh,
them. I was like, oh no, those are dope, man.
yeah.
Those are
probably,
dope toys.
probably like 15 of them.
Jesus. That's the whole line, probably.
I think it was.
Yeah. We were talking yesterday about how we don't, what our YouTube viewing is, right?
Yeah.
And we watch different things on YouTube. Like, a lot of people ask me, "How have you seen this thing on this comic YouTube channel?" I'm like,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I watch videos about burgers.
Yeah.
I watch videos about the food items that ruled the 80s that we got rid of at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that, you know, nostalgia bait.
Yeah.
And now my latest thing has been watching these videos on like old defunct action figure lines.
Oh, really?
With these dudes that have them all pristine. I'm like, I could be
Yeah.
that guy. I could be that guy. You see it right there?
Yeah.
You see what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be that guy.
You know why I love Bueller more than anything?
Jesus.
He gave me a blade sword.
Did you
One of my favorite characters. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
I bought that at a pawn shop.
I can't believe you found it at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
I need to get cleaned up.
Yeah.
And I actually want to get it like painted because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like a black handle or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's there. It's got all the fucking little
It
etchings
does,
and
yeah.
everything. It's great, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder where this came from.
It's not practical for me to carry that on the bus across the United States. So I'm like dumping stuff on my routes. I'm like, Robbie will take this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
basically what it was.
He's like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "It's a blade sword."
I had like 2 of the arcade 1-up little stand-ups for like Pac-Man,
Yeah.
Miss Pac-Man, and Marvel vs. Capcom or whatever it was. They're the
You had the
dust-
little countertop.
Yeah,
ones,
they're like 2 feet tall, and I had those on my bus. And I was like, "Oh man, that'd be really cool." How these on? I was like a weekend, like, God, these are not practical.
This is taking up room.
Yeah, so like I dumped one at my daughter's house with her boyfriend, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it." And then I dumped the other one at my brother's house with the Miss Pac-Man. He's, "Oh yeah, I'll take it." I was like, "Great." You know, I
Yeah.
wasted
Oh
my
man,
money on those.
I want not necessarily the ones that you had. I want like I do want a couple of those.
Mhm.
I don't know where I'd fit them.
Yeah.
I feel like in Studio B, which is the studio that I'm not using right now because
Yeah.
it's kind of cluttered. I feel like I could put 2 up in there, but I want one. Like whenever I watch Jim and I watch his channel, I'm just like, oh, so jealous. Nick, Comic Culture's got a bunch behind him.
Yeah.
I know Fable's got a few of them. I've never been able to get one, but I want one.
I
And
think-
my buddy John, Hammer
Yeah.
Time Holshoe, he actually he built an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
Like he built it from scratch. He even bought the what do you call it? But the pad with the joystick and everything, right?
Yeah.
He bought one of those from Japan.
Sure.
It was like made for arcades. And he's got it rigged up where any game he wants is on there.
Mhm.
And I want an arcade machine.
Yeah.
I really do. I really fucking do.
I think if I ever have a traditional home again, maybe I'll get something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's I don't have any plans on that anytime soon, so it might be a while.
All right. Well, what's coming up for you? What this plug time? What's coming up? I know you got the show with Spilio. Y'all are doing that every other Tuesday or
We're
something?
doing that every other Tuesday. The reason why it's every other Tuesday is because I don't know where I'm going to be at as far as like good internet service and stuff like that. Like last week on the claim set, my internet was horrible, and it was like you could barely get my picture. I could get the Team Dynamite on there, and they kind of did their thing, but mine was kind of rough. So for me, it's I always know I have to be somewhere on Thursdays to make sure I have a good internet and do that show. But to throw another day in there, constant Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's right in the middle of like my travel days and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a little bit harder for me to commit to that. So yeah, we're just doing every other Tuesday, and normally it's at like 9:00 Eastern time, and we do about an hour-long show.
Yeah, usually right around the time the weekly comic book review drops.
Yeah, something like that. And we'll wait until that drops so we can look and see what's on there. But so we're doing that. We just did one this week, so we'll have next week off, and then we'll do it again. And it's topic based. Last week we were talking about just what's better, Marvel, DC, or Independence right now at this moment. The first show we did was we talked about the $300,000 in comics that were stolen by that presser guy and the connection it had with me.
Okay.
That I was it's a loose connection, but it was still kind of bizarre.
Okay.
Basically, this guy, he was a presser, and he's now been charged for like all this stuff. I don't want to get into that detail. Anything, you guys can go look it up. But anyway, this guy was hiding out in Oregon. And this guy was hiding out in this little town called Almsville, which is my home base.
Okay.
Where I'm at when I'm back in Oregon.
Okay.
His place where he was hiding out was a mile away from where I parked the Bueller bus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, and it's a little far. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's no stoplights. There's no stop signs. It's literally a gas station and a restaurant, and I think obviously a Dollar General, or whatever it is.
Maybe a Jack's.
Yeah. and that's it. But here's this guy, hanging out, stealing, or allegedly, I just want to put that out there because, He hasn't been convicted yet, so I don't want to, But he's hiding out in this little small town out in the middle of Oregon, and then here it is, less than a mile away from my place and the Bueller bus and stuff like that. He had this, you can't not notice it when you're around town, so it's like okay. But anyway, so
everybody kept walking in the office at the shop yesterday, being like, "What's that? A fucking obnoxious bus out there?"
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that bus. That's my plan as far as when I kind of retire and next year, either sell the bus or do something with it and then get a new transit van or something like that.
Yeah,
because I still want to travel. That's kind of what my passion is.
I'm trying to convince him to get some kind of Frank Frazetta image though on the side.
Yeah, he wants some like 70s like Dazed and Confused stuff going on.
Yeah, dude, some chick with some
he just wants the slide door to open and a barrel of smoke comes out. That's all he wants.
Yeah. I was like, you need the black light, the shag carpet, dude. Yeah, dude.
The panther on the back.
Oh, that would be so dope, man. I would rock that. I would rock that.
I could totally see that.
I would totally rock that.
Road trip.
We're about to crowdfund the we got the Punisher van, so now we can get the Rockin Robbie van.
Yeah, there you go. But besides that, I did the Sal interview that came out yesterday, talking about Sal's first writing for the Terminator. He's does that Comic Pop YouTube channel. Really nice conversation with him. We met back in C2E2 earlier this year and kind of hit it off. So we enjoyed talking and just kind of we talked about YouTube, his channel, the book, and creators that we've met and interactions we've had. And I said, have you ever met a creator that was not great? So he's like, oh yeah. I go, you don't have to name names, but he did kind of explain a couple of different instances and stuff like that. And then I think I have an interview with Luke Lieberman, who's the writer of that new Red Sonja book that comes out
Wednesday.
Yeah, next week. That'll drop in the next day or so. And then I've heard back from the team who's doing the DuckTales. I should be talking to them here pretty soon.
Me too. Next week.
Yeah,
next week. Friday, I'm talking to them.
I think I got them on maybe Monday.
Okay.
And then the team, one of the people who are doing the Hornet, the Green Hornet one.
Me too.
So I got them coming up.
We do the same interview.
That's pretty much it. Like I said, we work for Dynamite, so it's like they tell us to jump and we say how high. So that's pretty much.
I think you work for them. I think they're sponsors of my show.
Yeah, they're sponsoring the bus, but anyway, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
We love Dynamite. They're good. Go check out their books.
And let's be honest,
Space Ghost this week.
Yeah,
we're an awesome book.
We joke about Dynamite.
Johnny Quest this week.
As far as like, oh, we work for Dynamite. But here's the thing, and this is I don't understand why other publishers don't do this. But really, Dynamite is in a category by themselves that has reached out to YouTubers or influencers or whatever it is, and it's paid off. That Nick saw the value of that and approached it. I don't understand why other publishers don't recognize the value of that, or that social media presence that we bring or other channels bring to a brand. Yeah, I don't understand why other smaller publishers or even
like DC doesn't work with a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't. It's not like we're charging an arm and a leg.
No, literally, like if Fantagraphics, if anybody from Fantagraphics, it's just send me the books. I'll talk about it. Yeah, it's that simple.
I think it would be nice to if like for going in the future for other publishers to kind of see the value of that.
Yeah, and we're Wizard Magazine now. That's what this YouTube thing is.
Yeah. So so my hat's off to Nick and Dynamite for kind of being the pioneers of like, hey, we need a social media presence. We need a YouTube channel. We need to do this and stuff like that. And let's get other people involved as well.
Yeah.
They're the only ones. And it's, thank you. So
yeah, absolutely. Dynamite helps keep the lights on and the tank filled.
The wheels rolling.
And the wheels rolling.
The sun keeps the lights on because that's the solar.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it keeps the lights on.
Yeah. Well, it's so dark in here. I couldn't
They
tell.
pay my utility bill. All right. So I think we should wrap up with this. Okay. We probably go do something. We got karaoke tonight, dude. I'm super excited. I'm sure we'll get some pics or something from that.
Her and their, what does that say?
Who are you? KO?
KO. He says, what's revealing my newest passion? My newest passion is the travel and that stuff, just in case people didn't figure it out yet. So
yeah,
that's it.
That makes sense. I'm not going to go see Beetlejuice tonight. I don't go to the movies on Friday nights usually.
Yeah, he goes on Monday morning.
I go Sunday mornings.
Really, that's a good time.
Yeah, I go
Yeah.
Sunday mornings.
A lot of older.
Monday
people.
mornings I'm busy
Yeah.
FOC.
Where do you sit in the movie theater?
Top middle.
Top, middle.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
that guy.
By yourself, or do you go with other people?
I mostly go by myself.
That's
to be
the
honest
best
with
way
you.
to go.
Yeah,
Because you don't want someone sitting there saying, "What'd they say?"
yeah. Well,
Like,
I-
are you not watching the same damn movie I'm watching?
I have people that I go see movies with, and I love watching movies with them.
Yeah.
But usually when I'm doing like it's like a self-care thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Sunday morning, like Sunday's kind of like my day to myself.
Yeah.
I usually I'm prepping Rockin Robbie that day. I'm reading my DC books and doing chores around the house, meal prep, stuff like that, right? Laundry, whatnot. And but usually in the course of that day, I'll go and I'll watch a movie, usually at 11, something like that. And Beetlejuice will be what I watched this week, and I'll be talking about it on Rockin Robbie Live.
Yeah.
Giving a very authentic review.
Yeah. I heard
I'm hearing good stuff.
Yeah.
I hear it's good. It's fun.
I heard it's better than a few of the newer movies that came out recently, like The Crow and the Borderlands or whatever.
I'll tell you this: The Crow's not as bad as people are making you think, but it's not good.
I'm not probably gonna watch it.
I watched it. I liked it.
There's a new TV show I just started watching.
Which one?
It's called From.
Okay. What they're really getting clever with these names now.
It's by the same people who made Lost. It's like
From.
And
Okay.
it's like, okay, and it even has the same actor.
Oh, is it?
A couple of the same actors from Lost?
Okay. I love Lost. Lost is one of my favorites.
From. So it's the guy who played Michael in Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the main character in From.
The guy that was in Oz? Did you ever watch Oz?
Yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, what's his name? I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Right now.
But it's about it's like this. It's very Lost-esque.
Okay.
Okay, but instead of like an island, it's this mysterious small town that people just kind of wander upon and they can't get out.
Okay.
And like they're all stuck in this town, this little town.
Is there a big black smoke monster?
There's monsters.
Nice.
They come out at night and there's all sorts of stuff, and they even have like big holes in the ground and stuff, and
yeah.
There's a lighthouse. I'm like, come on, man. That's a little too close. But it's a good show, and the new season starts, I think, in a couple weeks. So.
Okay. I might have to check that out. I don't
Not
have
bad.
so much TV time. I got a lot of movie time.
Yeah.
TV
There
time.
you go. Well,
I'm a movie guy now,
Yeah, I know, because you look like you're a guy that watches a lot of movies.
You look like you're a guy who lives on a bus and watches a fucking show called From.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We love you. We're dipping out. Thank you all for being here. And go check out the Claim Show. Check out Cruella De Vil. And next week, I believe it's the DuckTales guys that are here. So, yeah, I love DuckTales. So, we're dipping out. Station.